Hi, this is Dasha, and this is the Talking to the Camera challenge that I've set for myself. This is day 15. Theoretically, I should have done this video yesterday because I told myself that I would do kind of performance reviews, if you will, every week to see how I'm improving in this challenge or, whether there is anything else I can work on. But yesterday was Valentine's, so I wanted to kind of dedicate that video to the topic of love and relationships and dating. So I'm moving this review one day. Just want to share how this challenge is going so far and the ups and downs of it. First of all, I want to say it's been 15 days and I've posted every single day. I've already expected from myself that I would mess up the schedule at some point. Obviously, sometimes the videos would come out later in the day, not exactly at 3 p.m. like I planned them, because sometimes I'm recording a video for the day on the day. Like right now I'm recording a video that I will post today, so it's not gonna come out at 3 p.m. But nonetheless, every single day I've posted something. That's impressive to myself because I didn't expect myself to be so consistent, but it's exciting, it's engaging, I want to keep doing it. So I guess I've got some sort of motivation going on there that I want to try and post every day. So that's one. Next, I feel like I've kind of stopped worrying about making it so perfect. So, I mean, obviously I've mentioned it in the previous kind of review as well, but I feel like the more I'm recording, the more mistakes I let myself slide and just kind of keep them in the video. Obviously, if something that I say is incomprehensible, like if I've really messed up or, I got tongue-tied or something, then I won't include it in the video. I'll cut it out and re-record. But the rest of it, I kind of feel like maybe my speech flows a bit more freely rather than rehearsed, and probably a good thing. So yeah, little mess-ups, I guess not so important as long as the idea gets through. As long as I can explain myself well, I can allow myself to mess up a little bit. I also switched the camera from recording in 4K to recording in just HD, and the reason for that was because I've noticed that in 4K the battery drains itself much faster, and also the camera tends to overheat because the quality of the video is so high that it's just not really up to the task, I guess. So it's overheating after about 40 minutes, and given that even though the videos are short, it's taking me more than 40 minutes to record them, that's not a convenient feature. So I went down on the quality a little bit. It's not visible to YouTube just because I'm only uploading them in the quality HD, so it lowers the quality once I upload it. It's not going to be in 4K anyway because it takes ages to upload, so I thought it really doesn't matter because the quality, the visible quality of the video posted online will stay practically the same, but the camera will be capable of recording for much longer without, turning itself off and going, I'm overheated. So yeah, that's kind of just a technical bit that I've picked up along the way that helps me record a bit more efficiently. Now, the time I actually spend recording, like sat in this chair looking at the camera recording, has cut down significantly. Previously, it would be probably over an hour of footage that I would then cut to become a 12-13 minute video. And that's ridiculous, right? Because I would be silent for a long time, try to gather my thoughts, the nervousness would kick in, I would look out the window a lot trying to come up exactly with what I was gonna say. Perfectionism didn't help, so it would take me a really long time to just record what I wanna say. And then if you leave these massive pauses in the videos, it takes a ridiculously long time to edit as well, because you have to cut all of them out and only keep, what's important. And in an hour 20 footage, not much can be important if, I'm staring out the window half the time. So the fact that I became less nervous and more comfortable, like looking at the camera and expressing my thought, helps me also cut down the editing time, make it much faster, much easier for me to just cut out a few bits that I am not a fan of, or, where I got tongue-tied or something like that. And I don't have to cut out, me freezing in fear. Not being able to look at the lens of the camera. That's kind of a stage of the past, I guess, right now. Obviously, I know that if I stop doing it for like 2 weeks, I'll get back to where I started 100%. And that's kind of the fear that keeps me, you know, accountable to record every day as well. I'm saying I'm surprised with myself for recording every day. It's probably because I understand and acknowledge that if I stop, I will lose the progress that I've made so far, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I feel much more comfortable in front of the camera, and that cuts down both my recording time and my editing time. And in fact, it became much easier for me to record the video rather than to edit it. And if you asked me maybe 2 weeks ago, then I would still tell you that editing is much more comfortable for me. It's much more in my comfort zone because I didn't have to do anything on camera for that exercise, and I was ready to spend a long time editing as long as I didn't have to feel that nervousness while I'm recording. And I would definitely prefer editing to recording. Right now, I think recording becomes much more second nature to me, so it goes smoother, it's more interesting for me to talk about the topics that I've planned, so I would prefer recording to editing at this moment. And who knows, maybe this will change with time again, and I will go through phases of liking recording versus liking editing. Maybe I'll go through phases of hating both or loving both, but at the moment I feel like recording is much more natural to me, whereas editing is a little bit more time consuming and requires some sort of mental effort from me. As a point for improvement, I've been told by somebody who watched my videos that apparently I don't blink. And I found it really peculiar because I didn't notice it myself, and only when I rewatched all those videos after that comment, I've realized that sometimes I do this. And I talk like this, looking at the camera and only at the camera, afraid to even blink or look away because I'm afraid to break that contact that I'm making while I'm creating a video. Once I've been told that, I've already started trying to kind of be more relaxed, and you know, if I look somewhere else when I'm recording, or if I look down, or if I blink, on the opposite, it adds more kind of a natural feeling to it. So a lot more like a conversation rather than somebody just staring out of a screen at you. I'm trying to improve on that and be a little bit more natural in my body language as well, but blinking, yes, and not being afraid to look somewhere if I'm thinking or if I'm trying to come up with how to say something. And I'm still struggling with that. I hope that the exercise will help me to kind of come up with more natural ways to behave on camera, but at the same time knowing and being aware of the fact that I tend to not blink and just stare directly at the camera lens helps me be more aware and kind of just improve on it slowly whenever I notice it, whenever I notice that my eyes are pretty much watering because I haven't blinked in a minute and a half. About 5 days ago, I've realized that I struggle with inspiration for the topics that I want to cover in these videos. I had a few topics written down, but suddenly all of them seemed very boring to me and not worth raising. So I deleted like 2/3 of them and started trying to come up with more kind of interesting points for me to cover, topics for me to cover and discuss. And it's really not been a piece of cake, especially considering that I'm sometimes being very critical of myself, and I start thinking, oh, this is not going to be interesting to anyone, this is not going to be exciting for me to talk about, it's just a boring topic to make a whole video on, it's not worth a whole video. Even though sometimes my videos are like 8 minutes, right? So what's 8 minutes? Nothing really, but I am being very critical of the topics that I choose, and that sometimes can be challenging when I actually try to come up with things to talk about. But I think I have like bursts of inspiration, so sometimes I can come up with something when I'm like on public transport and I just write it down. I have a whole kind of project on my phone and I write down ideas and like points to cover there. So yeah, I hope that it's only a temporary problem. I also want to keep these videos in this challenge specifically like talking, like me sat down talking at the camera, because this is what I started the challenge for. This is the practice that I want. Obviously, I'm very excited about creating videos like vlogs and traveling and, you know, living my quiet life at home, stuff like that. Very exciting stuff. And I want to do this after the challenge. But right now, I just want to practice so that it becomes as second nature as possible to just sit like that and talk to the camera, that I stop being embarrassed of the process of filming, you know, videos that are actually more interesting to me and that will actually be kind of more exciting to film down the line. This is this first step, so being limited to only, you know, sitting down and talking also obviously limits the style of videos. And since nothing else like exciting actually happens in these videos, I feel like the topic that I'm discussing, that I'm covering, is the most important part of the video that makes it at all interesting to watch. So there is a lot of pressure on deciding what I'm going to talk about, whereas if I'm making a vlog or something along the lines, then conversational kind of bits are a bit more secondhand, a bit more in the background. So as long as I keep doing this challenge until the end of the month, I'm gonna keep it strictly talking to the camera style. But once I'm finished with this and I feel much more comfortable talking to the camera and I gain some experience doing that, I want to move to different styles of videos as well. I faced more self-doubt this week as well, and just generally started questioning again of whether I should even post these or just keep them private. But at the same time, I keep reminding myself that this is all an exercise. It's not really important. It doesn't really matter whether people watch and what they think. I've been getting support from my friends on this kind of challenge that I've set for myself, so that's been very nice. And yeah, in general, I feel really good about this. Much better. I'm in a very different spot than I was 2 weeks ago. And I'm still completely convinced that these videos are crap. Just like I said in the first video, that the next like 30 videos, 50 odd videos will be really bad. And I'm still of that opinion. But it became easier for me to create these bad videos. And maybe one day I'll start creating slightly better videos. Maybe it will come to me naturally the more I do this. So no, really exciting. I'm pumped about this. I'm absolutely excited. I know that I have a long way to go, but I've been getting some feedback from people and I've been noticing some stuff myself. So it becomes easier and easier to take these small steps to improve my talking to the camera style and, you know, the quality of my speech, all of that jazz. So yeah, I hope it's been a little bit exciting for you up to this point to follow me on this journey and kind of keep an eye on how it's going. I hope that there is some difference for the better in the way that my videos are now compared to as what they were 2 weeks ago. I know it's not a long enough period of time for me to start creating masterpieces, but I'm really optimistic about where it's going. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!